Guys, this video is sponsored by Private Internet Access. With over 30 million downloads and more than 10 years of VPN experience, Private Internet Access is the world's most transparent VPN provider. They never record or store user data, and their no logs policy has been proven multiple times in court. Because Private Internet Access changes your IP address and reroutes your internet traffic through an encrypted tunnel, your online activity from your internet service provider, network administrator, or government sensors is hidden. You can use one Private Internet Access subscription to protect up to 10 devices all at the same time. Most VPNs support fewer connections, so you get a lot more bang for your buck. They work with all major streaming services, so you have unrestricted access to all your favorite content anywhere in the world. Plus, it's one of the few VPNs that fully supports peer-to-peer file sharing and torrenting. Signing up for Private Internet Access is risk-free with a free 30-day money-back guarantee. Get complete digital privacy today at less than $3 a month and 2 extra months for free by going to privateinternetaccess.com/Chael Sonnen. Told you. I mean, who called this, right? Who told you that Conor Bisping were going to get in a fight publicly? I did. Now, you don't have to put on your Colombo rain jacket. I don't necessarily get any credit for doing that, but I did call it ahead of time, and it has happened. So let's start at the top. Now, where do these guys get in a back and forth to begin with? I believe it all had to do with the way that Bisping was talking about Conor being finished. But I get confused because Conor's mad at Bisping, but he's also been mad at Daniel, and I could be confused on what the genesis of that is. Either way, just so you have the backstory, okay? Conor and Bisping used to be cronies of some level. I mean, Bisping was singing Conor's praises, and I believe had met him and got him in with the management company that Conor's still with, Audiatar and company. What are they called? Dominance? Whatever they're called. I believe that Bisping set that up. So somewhere over time, Conor started to get more shine than some of the other clients, including Bisping, who was a champion of the world, future Hall of Famer, and brought him in the first place. And things just got a little bit weird. And I can only remember one back and forth going on between these two, but Bisping had done a movie part in XXX, and somewhere Conor had said that part was for me and I was too busy, so I passed it to you, like it was an insult. And Bisping was never really denying that. He's just going, yeah, but if we're buddies and we're the same manager, isn't that how it works? It comes to one guy, hey, he can't do it, hand it to another. It was just one of these things. And I just barely remember that. How accurate anything that I just told you was, I'm at least 80% there. But I'll admit that I've forgotten something because there was never a back and forth. And Bisping's always been extremely respectful of Conor. Now, Conor hasn't been anything towards Bisping, but Conor isn't working the stick. He's not up on the desk at ESPN or something along these lines where he would have anything to say. Bisping's covered Conor's fights, and Bisping's just been very, very respectful, and I've noticed it. So somewhere they get off course, and the tweets go along these lines. Conor McGregor. Oh, no, we got to back up here. Conor said that he was getting a piece of Michael Bisping's purses, that Conor himself now owns a piece of the management company that Michael introduced him to, and therefore got a piece of Bisping's fight. Conor tweets out, but hey, 100K, 50K right off the top for every time you fight. I used to yell yoink when it hit the account. Now, yoink is a term from a cartoon called The Simpsons. The writer of The Simpsons made yoink an acceptable colloquialism, which is what the characters in The Simpsons, and it could be any of them. It could be Bart, it could be Homer, it could be Lisa. If they take something of somebody else's, they yell out yoink. That's the reference there. Bisping says, okay, mate, it seems to be the general consensus these days. Don't know if you're deleting tweets quicker or if your legacy is getting deleted quicker. I paraphrase that one slightly. To which Conor responds, the only legacy I give a F about is the Legacy 5000 my mother flies around on. Bisping responds, money doesn't make you, little man. Besides, even if you stood on your wallet, I'd still be bigger than you. Conor responds, oh, you a big man, are you, bro? A real man wouldn't sprint from his hometown after they come knocking on his mother's door, bro. Don't forget that one, big man. The U.S. crunch time and you dipped. All right, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop. It keeps going. I'm wearing my glasses. I don't like wearing my glasses in front of people. So you know what he's talking about. Way back in the day, Bisping lived in England, and there was some kind of shady gangster-like characters that somehow had a piece of Bisping's career. Normally I would call them managers. I believe Bisping thought he was signing a management contract. He wasn't. They were like straight shaking him down. It went all the way through the court system, but they came and like burned a house down. Bisping had a couple of homes and they burned one down, or they threatened to burn it down, and one of them his mom was living in. I'm close. Bisping told me this story. It's like 2013, though. I can't fully remember. 2011. So he had to leave basically in the middle of the night and get the hell out of the area, which is what brought him to the States, which is what Conor's referring to. Now, had Conor given more detail, had Conor known to give detail, it would have been a little bit juicier of a story. And in all fairness, when guys start looking for those digs, right, because what hurts? It's the truth that hurts. So when Conor's armed with a piece of information that obviously Bisping shared with him, not thinking that Conor would bring out, right? I mean, there's a piece of this, hey, just how much are we taking these gloves off? Now, Bisping did not respond, but in all fairness, Conor was in some trouble with some mobsters himself. He stayed in Ireland. He somehow worked it out, but he's also got an 8-man security team armed with him at all times. I mean, it's one of these things. I don't know. Guy comes to burn down a house and your mother happens to be living with it. It seems to me you don't need to meet that guy with a 5-finger reminder. You need to get your mom and get the hell out of there. That really is neither here nor there. These guys are just having their fun back and forth. But I don't know who's going to get the last word. And it's hard for me to imagine that either one of them is going to back down. The problem that Bisping has is Conor's got nothing else to do. Conor likes to be heard. He likes to talk. He's got no one to go after. He doesn't have an opponent. So Conor's slate's going to be wide open, right? So if you're Bisping and you, how far do I want to go with this? Conor's likely to go pretty damn far. The other side of it is Bisping has a platform. Bisping doesn't just have to go to social media. He has his own show, which, by the way, he does a damn good job. He's got quite a few listeners. So who's going to decide to have the final word? And how are you going to have the final word to close this chapter and move on without looking as though you're avoiding the fight? And moreover, at what point do you want it to end? Even if it's a fight you don't want to have, if it's getting headlines, I'm sitting over here talking about it. Guys, ever seen my numbers? They're right to the left of the screen here. They're huge, and I'm covering it. Do you want that to go away? Is that something that you would want to go away? What would be the advantage of that? Let's see how far this goes. Let's see what the back and forth is. I'm not sure that they got a whole lot more to throw at each other, right? If they just start trying to perform, they just start putting out bits and material, it's a little bit different. Conor's bringing up real stuff. So's Bisping. It's as juicy as it gets. I've been waiting for this fight. I have been waiting for it because I've known this is brewing. About 5 years. About 5 years I've been waiting for this fight. Oh, I hope it goes to championship rounds. I really do.